sounding exquisite.
Oh shit, we back again. What's up, what's happening? Come to the party and bring a friend. Fuck it, I'm bringing 10. Ooh, tryna chat a 10. Big boy tryna chat a 10. She said I was catchy. I said, so tap him in.
Touchdown!
Double cup, wow, I stuck smile when I puff loud. I touch clouds, catching touchdowns in my mind now, cause I'm zoned out. Wanna pour. What up, everybody? It's your boy, Riley Puddin' Peters, coming to you live with the doctor, defensive backs quality control coach, Preston Rowe. It's the Trash Talk Tailgate. And this is not an NFL pre-show. This is us doing our own thing. And oh, baby, this was an electric Saturday slate of college football games.
This was the best weekend of college football we've had this year.
Yeah?
I don't think it's a discussion.
I mean, I have to agree. This is one of the best weekends of college football that I've had in a while, I think. Like, just the amount of, like, couple score games, end-of-game heroics.
Game heartbreak. Oh,
There wasn't much of that. No, I'm just kidding.
you.
But yeah, no, just so many one-score games. Just looking through the list, man. The slates were, I mean, the games themselves, some great teams playing, of course. Some legendary rivalries played this week. Man, gosh, it was a great week. It was a great week, and I think there's no better starting place than scroll a little far down. Virginia Tech versus Miami. This was the first game of this slate. It's also just to get the doctor's pain away.
Yeah.
But to also talk about one of the more exciting moments of this weekend, to be real. I mean, this game was fantastic.
It was a great game.
For most of the game, Preston was elated.
Yes.
If
Absolutely.
not, maybe a little annoyed.
Yeah. No, I was telling Riley, we were watching this game together, and I was telling Riley, like, if we win this game, I'm going to be really excited. But at the same time, I'm also going to be pissed off because where the fuck was this team all year? This is the same team that lost to Vanderbilt and lost to Rutgers. And then you go on the road and upset number 7 Miami. Like, but, I mean, dude, Virginia Tech, they came to play. You know, this was the first time that Miami had really had to face, like, you know, a really good pass rush. Like, Virginia Tech does have a really good pass rush with, you know, Powell Ryland. And, you know, Cam Ward made mistakes. Miami's quarterback, he made mistakes. And Virginia Tech, they made him pay for it early.
Yep.
You know, and
I think Cam Ward has shown himself to be a relatively cool pocket quarterback up until this game. I think this game we saw some cracks in the foundation, and I think you're right. I mean, we talked about this going into this game. The thing about Tech is that they are relatively a pretty solid defense.
Yes.
You know, look, this is it's shots that kill them. But that's every team. That's like, I think that's truly the hallmark of like good defenses, good to like great to like, you know, upper level defenses, is that the thing that'll kill you is going to be big plays. You're not going to fall into long drives. The teams are going to have to beat you. And I mean, props to Cam Ward. You know, as much as we talked to seeing some cracks, he definitely was able to pull it down and, you know, focus in.
I mean, at the end of the game, he had some truly, like, spectacular, you know, almost Heisman level plays, like, you know, Heisman moment plays.
He had some great plays.
I mean, but
I bet you he
Virginia
wouldn't have
Tech,
thrown a Hail Mary like that, though. Oh,
oh my
real
God.
quick, though, we got to shout out the chat. The Bulldogs do need a new quarterback. We're going to get to the Alabama-Georgia game. Don't you worry.
We are.
There's going to be plenty for that one. But
Is that our boy Shamar?
absolutely. The
Oh,
Orca brother himself.
Yeah, he texted me about it. I said, bro, come into the chat and talk about it. Well, we're going to talk about it. Dude, this was just a busted coverage. Like, you can't be that wide open.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, listen, apparently the Hurricanes post-Hurricane are looking pretty good.
I mean, that is a really good play design, though, because, you think you're going to run the power, the tight end down blocks, and then he just runs right downfield.
I mean,
and no one
it's
touches him.
hilariously incredibly similar to what was Virginia Tech's first touchdown.
Yeah.
Where they just fake some shit. They don't fake a power, but they do sneak a tight end out.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Just two blown tight end coverages.
I mean,
but that's also kind of the trademark. I mean, Miami, since the early 2000s, hasn't necessarily been a defensive program. You're not out there looking for top tier Brett Venables or Kirby Smart defense out of Miami. That's not what they're here to do.
yeah.
They're here to be explosive, to be flashy. They will create lots of turnovers. But I think in this game, Virginia Tech did a great job just getting moving. And that's something you can attest to really hasn't shown itself this season. So for them, I mean, that's a good sign for y'all. Going from kind of been stagnate in the first few games of the season, to like damn near beating number 7 Miami in Miami.
This was the team that Virginia Tech fans were hoping that we were going to get this year. This is the team that we were really excited for. Like this was like a team showing what it's capable of and what it's been capable of all year. And then I mean, but it's just, dude, we're going to talk about the end of the game, but like
oof.
I mean,
special teams, special players.
I do think that Virginia Tech's coaching staff did botch the end of the game. Just very poor clock management.
Yeah, let's get to the fun. How bad at clock management do you really think it was, though?
It was very bad clock management. This was almost a game-winning touchdown.
Very
Just
close.
didn't get his feet in bounds. But I mean, so Riley, go back, go back, see if it shows the start of the drive.
Yeah.
Because there was so there's a minute 34.
Yeah, I think they got the ball with like a minute 40 something, right?
Yes, there's a minute 34, and you have 2 timeouts at this point. And look, so you're on your own 32-yard line.
Yeah.
And so you need to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
So just run it. I mean, okay, so you catch the ball and bounce. Look, so now there's 50 seconds left.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, wasn't that
like
that first down
play
was
like
a
timeout? Like, I mean, you wasted so much time just, lollygagging and moseying on up to the line of scrimmage, trying, like call timeout. Like, what are you doing? It's just, it didn't make sense. Like, Virginia Tech, our coaching staff absolutely botches. Like, look, the clock is still running. Like, They wasted so much time on this drive, and I get it, Miami, they didn't want to give up an explosive play, but now look, there's 17 seconds left. Like, and now, this is the final play of the game. And this is what Virginia Tech fans are going to be really upset about. I think Virginia Tech fans should also be upset about the coaching staff botching that clock management, because that was piss poor. But this is what, people are going to be really upset about. There's no time left on the clock. They throw a Hail Mary, and Daquan Felton catches it. And it's ruled a touchdown on the field.
Yeah, this is obviously this is the play. I mean, everybody's been talking about this. The ACC had to release an official statement.
So here's my thing.
Talk about
if you rule it an incomplete pass on the field, I don't think anyone's mad at you, because while it looked like he may have had possession, it honestly wasn't clear. Like, it wasn't indisputable one way or the other. But you ruled it a touchdown on the field. And based on the letter of the law, you have to go with the call on the field, and you have to go to replay to see if it was indisputable. Riley, I'm sorry, but they took over 10 minutes reviewing that call and reviewing that play.
And it was the end of the game. It was a lot.
Yes, and if you take over 10 minutes to review something, in no way does that mean it's indisputable.
I'm going to some random dude on X. This is what this newspaper article linked as their official source for that. It's just pick some random dude on X as their official source for what the ACC said in their statement. All right. During the review process, the last play of the Virginia Tech at Miami game, it was determined that the loose ball was touched by a Miami player while he was out of bounds, which makes it an incomplete pass and immediately ends the play. That is the official.
Here's the thing, like that's a pile. Like, there's no way that you can determine, and Daquan Felton, he has possession with his butt cheeks on the ground.
Yeah.
And then the Miami player has to rip the ball out. If you have to rip the ball out, that means you have possession.
For sure.
Like I
said,
if you rule it incomplete on the field, I'm not mad at you.
Yeah.
But because it was ruled a touchdown on the field, you have to go with indisputable video evidence in the replay to overturn it. And there was no way a 10-minute review is indisputable video evidence. The call came down from the ACC headquarters. They said, look, it fucking sucks for them, but we need an undefeated ACC team. And
we need Miami. We need
Miami to be undefeated. I mean, it's Miami, dude. Like, maybe this Miami team is different, but I mean, Miami didn't look good this game. It's a 2-2 Virginia Tech team.
Yeah.
Like,
I think I gotta say though. Yeah. I mean, listen, everybody's catching Vandy's hands though. Yeah. You can't even blame y'all for that at this point. But Rutgers, I mean, some people catching Rutgers hands too. Y'all are a 2-2 team that is better than what the records suggest. I mean, I think everyone in the beginning of the seasons got caught off guard by that Vandy team. Yeah. And
look, he has possession right there, and then the defender rips the ball out. Like, I'm sorry, but if you rule it a touchdown on the field, which is what they did, you have to have indisputable video evidence to overturn it. And there was absolutely not that. If you take over 10 minutes to rule and review a play, it's not indisputable. Like, And then they just said, "Oh, the it's incomplete," and then they didn't give any explanation for it whatsoever. They just got the hell out of Dodge. Like,
As you should.
it's bullshit. But
Gotta
you
run.
whatever.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech, it's not the first time we've been screwed over by the refs on what should have been a catch. So, Danny Cole caught that ball. Daquan Felton caught that ball. That's all I have to say.
He called it. Tech should have won.
Yeah,
all right.
dude.
Speaking of teams that should have won, let's talk about this Kentucky Ole Miss game. I mean, do I care a lot about it? Not really. Number 6 Ole Miss. Top 10 team is important.
It's just so. One of the things that I think we have to remember, and this is one of the things that makes college football so great, Riley, every year there's only like 2 or 3 like truly dominant teams.
Yeah.
And that's why there are so many upsets, even in the top 10, because, even if you're a top 10 team, that doesn't mean you're a dominant, great team. Like, Ole Miss is a very good team, but they haven't played anybody up to this point. And Kentucky, keep in mind, Kentucky just took Georgia down to the wire. They probably should have won that game.
Yeah.
And, Kentucky, this defense is legit. They made Jackson Dart's life hell all game. He couldn't find it. They were in his face constantly. And, I mean, that's the thing that makes college football so special and so great, is that you do get upsets like this because, anybody can be got on any given Saturday.
Yep.
And it's, we both picked Ole Miss to win this game, but we do. Kentucky has a very, very good defense.
Yeah, for sure. No, this Kentucky team's good, and they've got the program itself has a history of being a spoiler. They play the spoiler a lot, and we see it again here. This touchdown right here. This was like the game sealing one.
Mm-hmm.
I know they have to replay this because this was crazy. You can't tell. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah. Yeah, they fumbled
heads
through the end zone, and then they recover.
Heads up play by 8-4.
Yes.
I mean, that's such a good play, dude. I mean, you can't ask for more out of a tight end. He's just standing there, sees the ball, gets it. And I think at the end of the day, that ends up being the difference-making touchdown.
You do, but Kentucky, they sacked Jackson Dart 4 times, and they had 7 tackles for loss. Like, their front 7, and really their defensive line, they got after Ole Miss today. Ole Miss, they struggled to block them all game. It's just
incomplete pass.
He was Jackson Dart. He was 18 of 27 for 261 yards and a touchdown. But that's not like the prolific Ole Miss passing offense that we are used to seeing.
Yeah.
Kentucky, they played good enough defense, and they did enough on offense. Brock Vanderbilt, he had 243 yards passing for a touchdown and no interceptions. And I mean, they did enough to win this football game. They didn't turn the ball over, and they played great defense. And that's what you need to go on the road and upset a top 10 team.
Yep. No, they did just what they needed to do, man. Even like very statistically even game, very little difference between the two teams. And Kentucky just, when the moments are big, they made the right plays. And that's crazy. Well, that's also, just saw this right here. That was Kentucky's first win in Oxford since 1978.
That's crazy.
That is kind of crazy.
Insane.
That's really crazy.
That's crazy,
I really don't have much else. That's fucking just a crazy upset. Two teams where, I mean, once again, the SEC is so strong. A lot of these people's schedules are kind of crazy. especially like the mid-tier SEC teams. Like if you compare them, you're like, oh,
Well, that was the thing with Ole Miss, dude. A lot of people were so high on them. Yeah, they returned a lot of talent, but and you know they were heavy in the transfer portal this offseason, bringing in talented guys. But a lot of people were really high on this team because of the schedule or lack thereof. Like they had a pretty easy schedule,
yeah,
and
they should have walked to like damn near undefeated.
yeah, and I talked about this in the preseason. The problem with Ole Miss is, they typically beat the teams they're supposed to, but they never beat the teams they're not supposed to. Like, they never pull any upsets. And now they're out here losing to Kentucky. And Kentucky's a good football program. And I have a lot of respect for what Mark Stoops has done. But, I mean, if you're Ole Miss, you have to win this game. Like, this is a game that you are expected to win.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
And, they got dominated up front. Like, they got pushed around. Their offensive line was not that great in this game.
Yeah, their gaps got assaulted, and they really couldn't do much about it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, give credit to Kentucky, but I mean, this is not a good loss for Ole Miss.
Not a great loss.
Nope.
Speaking of not great losses, let's talk about Notre Dame versus Louisville. This is one I'm ashamed to have called the wrong way, but at the same time, it's all right.
We both got this one wrong.
We did.
Yeah.
And we can accept that.
Yeah.
But it was a great game. Really hard to find a video for it. Thanks, NBC. Thanks, the ACC network. But this was, I mean, listen, we kind of knew coming in, these were two very close teams. I mean, in ranking and match, like the way they play, like these two teams are very similar. And if you hit the box score, I mean, you really see, like, wow.
I mean,
actually,
I
crazy.
think the difference. I think the difference in this game was Notre Dame's defense is elite.
Yeah.
And they were able to kind of stifle Louisville's passing attack, which is really really good with Tyler Shaw. And
Just not letting them score. Bend don't break.
They got out to a 21-7 lead in the first quarter, and then they just kind of didn't let Louisville really do anything after that. Like, it's just Notre Dame's defense is legit. Like, they are a legit top 10 defense in the country.
It's true.
It is true, dude.
I mean, their one loss was just an absolute defensive shootout with Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, they also lost some more.
They only lost one.
Yeah, they lost. Yeah, they beat Texas A&M. They lost.
Oh, that's right.
Illinois.
That's right. They lost Northern Illinois.
Yes.
That was an absolute. But yeah, this and turnovers and just one team had them and the other team didn't.
Yeah.
Boom. Damn. Yeah, Notre Dame, man. It was really just all about them. They needed to make the plays at home. This is a hard stadium to play in, dude. Like, this is one of the classic stadiums in college football, truly. And it was a special game. You see, they have the special green jerseys on.
The Shamrocks.
The Shamrocks, dude. It was a green out. And not my kind.
Yeah.
And they allowed that momentum to help them, man. Louisville tries to make a comeback, just never really able to do the thing. And it's crazy to think like how easy Notre Dame gets to walk through this game, at the end.
I mean, if you look at Louisville, they outgained Notre Dame. They almost doubled them in total yards.
Yep.
I mean, it just Notre Dame. They stopped them when like this game was kind of
It's the proverbial bend don't break, right?
yeah.
Notre Dame's defense had a lot of bend, but had a lot of break.
Yeah, like this game was kind of played in between the 40s most of the time, and
Yeah.
no one really got anything going offensively, and then it's just I don't know, dude. Like Notre Dame, their defense is legit, and their offense. I mean, dude, their offense was 2 of 10 on third down, and they still won this game. That's a testament to how good Notre Dame's defense is.
Yeah. No, for
Like
sure.
Louisville, they outgained them 437 to 283. You know, um, they had 19 first downs as opposed to Notre Dame's 11. It's just, I mean, hell, it's just, I mean, they were pretty similar on penalties, 6 for 50, and Notre Dame had 5 for 45. I mean, this game, you know, you, it was, this was a really good game, and Notre
Very
Dame,
even game. A very even game. It makes
yes.
sense that it comes down to like a touchdown difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The incredibly even game. Notre Dame was like I mean, this is one of those where if you made these two teams play, multiple times in a row, you get something I'd say probably very close to a 50-50 outcome in the end.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Hmm.
I mean, but Louisville, I still think they're a really good team. I think they're a really good offense. I just Notre Dame, their defense is legit. Like I have concerns about their offense, but I think their defense is legit a top 10 defense in the country. So
There's a lot of those in the country right now. There's a lot of those a lot of those around. A lot of good defenses with some weird offense.
yeah.
All right. Speaking of some weird offense, we got Penn State versus Illinois. The only reason I say weird offense is because, offense just didn't really want to show up to this game. They didn't want to be there.
I mean,
I was going to say, I know I've looked past this 6 times. Final score of 21-7 is pretty indicative. Considering also, if you consider most of the 21 kind of came a little late.
yeah, like this was a very close game.
And
then
the whole time.
Penn State, they got a huge interception with a minute left, and they scored off of it. But I mean, this was for the most part a one-score game.
Yeah, this was 14-7 game for a lot of it.
Yeah,
it's crazy how long this was a 14-7 game.
I mean, I think the difference in this game, Riley, is I talked about it. Penn State's new offensive coordinator, Andy Kotelnicki, he's very good at scheming up explosive run plays. And Penn State has two stud running backs, Katron Allen and Nick Singleton. Dude, they ran the ball 43 times for 241 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, and that's the difference maker, baby. That's it.
I mean, Allen had 102, Singleton had 94. And they each had a touchdown. I mean, that they're very, very good at running the football this year. And I think a lot of that has to do with Kotelnicki's scheme because he's always been very good at scheming up runs. I mean, dude, Kansas hasn't been very good this year. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they lost Andy Kotelnicki to Penn State. It's
true. No, it's true. It's true. It's damn true. Also, don't forget the fullback for Penn State, 44, came in. I mean, he had 2 rushes for 13 yards. That's a solid 6 average and a tutty.
Yeah.
That's
Tyler Warren.
They got a lot of depth coming out of the backfield, and you could see it in this game. That's really the difference maker, I think. Their rushing attack that's what separated them this entire game.
Yes. And I mean, Riley, they dominated the line of scrimmage. They especially dominated the interior gaps and the B gaps. Penn State was just pushing Illinois off the ball for the most part, and whenever you're able to do that, whenever you're able to push and move people out of the way, you're probably going to have a lot of success running the ball, especially.
Yeah.
And that's what this was, dude. I mean, Luke Altmaier, he didn't play bad. He didn't have a lot of yards. He was 16 of 25 for 185 yards. He had a touchdown. He also had the late kind of game-ending, game-sealing interception. But I mean, dude, Illinois, they couldn't run the ball at all. 32 carries for 34 yards. I mean, I think Penn State just proved that they are more dominant on both lines of scrimmage. Like I know it was a close game, but really, like,
Yo, this play right
Penn
here,
State,
this was crazy.
They dominated the lines of scrimmage, man.
Whoop.
And whenever you can do that, you're consistently going to win a lot of football games.
This touchdown was crazy.
Yeah.
This one, the scheme they got on this, it's the Wildcat.
Yes.
A little bit of a help pool, and he just, dude, dive right in. Oh, dive right in. Oh, dive right in. That's crazy. Yeah, no, I think, props to Illinois for, as much as Penn State did dominate, like, numerically, like, really, Illinois did a great job hanging on in this game.
Yeah.
It was 7-7 for truly most of the game. And then in the second half, third quarter, it becomes 14-7, and it's 14-7 all the way until like less than 2 minutes left in the game. When
Illinois, they were driving, dude. They had a chance to tie it, and then they just threw an interception.
It was an interception, and it's it's an icer. It's an icer, but you gotta be better than that.
I just think Penn State is more talented up front on both lines of scrimmage, and I think that was the difference in the ball game. Like, it's really hard to win games when you're getting pushed around on both lines of scrimmage.
Yeah, for sure.
But you have to give Illinois credit for hanging in there for as long as they did.
Yeah, no, they played. I mean, they played good. It's not a bad ball club. Penn State's just also a really good team.
Yes.
And I think we got to really get to see that here. Like, this is a team that you're going to have to bring the Bubs to, because if you're not going to be able to get any kind of control on, especially as a defense playing against our offense, you got to get some kind of control on the offensive line, or you're just going to feel the meat grinder. That's not fun.
No.
But yeah, man. Penn State pulls this one out 21-7.
Yes.
Good game overall. But we got an upset to talk about next. That's Arizona versus Utah. Number 10 Utah.
Yeah.
The big storyline coming into this game is obviously Cam Rising, Utah's star quarterback, their leader, their offensive leader.
Been there forever.
Yeah, someone that is a lot of the potent attack of this team is out.
Mm-hmm.
They bring in Isaac Wilson, the backup. I think the thing that I'm just like really about is they threw the ball 40 times with QB2.
Yeah.
What is that? He was 20 for 40 all night. Like, what are we doing, dude?
But he had two interceptions. One of them was really, really bad.
Yeah. No, why are you throwing the ball so much with your backup, man? You gotta come into that week knowing that you're not gonna have Cam Rising and knowing that you're gonna have to rely on the run game. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like Michael Bernard, he had 16 carries for 91 yards. Man, I just don't know why they didn't. Like, you were never really out of this game. Like, why did you abandon the run game?
Yeah, for sure.
When it was like, I don't, I mean, this is one of the things that I talked about, going into this year for the Big 12. Like, I thought this was going to be a really fun conference because all these teams are pretty much on par with each other. Like, they're very equal in terms of overall talent. So there's going to be a lot of parity. Like, there's not like a dominant Texas or Oklahoma team like there was.
Yeah.
Now they're all just kind of the same. I mean, dude, this is an Arizona team that, they were 2-1 coming into this game, and they upset number 10 team in the country in Utah. Like, I mean, they went on the road into Rice Eccles, and we both had Utah winning this game. But it's a really tough place to play.
Yeah,
and they kind of dominated them, dude. 23-10. I mean, that's why the Big 12 is so much fun, because you legit have no idea what's going to happen from week to week, because there is so much parity and there's not a dominant team.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like kind of like the SEC, but like different, because like in the SEC they're also good, and like in the Big 12 they're also mid.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, man, this is an unexpected win. But at the same time, as soon as I heard that Cam Rising, which I had found that news out a little bit late, it was after our show that I heard that news.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things where, like you said, the run game was there for them early, and they just kind of abandoned it with QB2, and you just don't expect that. And as soon as that like started happening, I was like, well, I just kind of feel like this game could be lost, because why? Like, why? Why are you letting QB2 be the, like, I don't know, man. It doesn't make sense.
Why are you throwing the ball 40 times with a backup quarterback?
With a backup quarterback, man. It's a hard one, dude. It's a hard one to wrap your head around, because, like, yeah, I don't know, man. It never makes sense when you abandon a working run game with QB2 and just keep throwing.
I mean, I get it. You were down, but you were only down 16-3 at one point in the third quarter. Like, that's still all you have to do is just establish the run. You'll keep on doing what's working, and you'll get back into the game.
Yeah, they got this touchdown, and then they were like, "Oh, we scored a passing touchdown. We could do that again." And unfortunately, spoiler alert, they were not able to do it again.
No. Dude, top 10 team goes down, dude. That's when the college football goes down. Yep.
Arizona does a good job. I mean, 169 on the ground.
6.5 yards a carry, dude. That's gonna work.
And Utah's defense doesn't get a single sack.
No.
But also, like you said, quarterback threw 2 interceptions. Arizona's quarterback only threw 1.
Yep.
Arizona, man, they pull the upset. Once again, another upset. It's crazy. I mean, just part of this crazy week of games.
Yeah.
All right, next game we got Clemson versus Stanford. There's really not much. We don't need to be on this one for too long. Going over there and starting the video and then like clicking away from it. But
so I kind of watched this game just a little bit.
Yeah, this was happening during the Alabama-Georgia game, so we can understand that it didn't have the greatest viewership.
I mean, from what I saw, dude, Cade Klubnik, he threw 255 and 4 touchdowns, but I don't think he particularly played that well because he was 15 of 31. I think
a lot of drops.
Kind of have some mistakes.
A lot of drops, though. Yeah, a lot of drops. In the early bit of the game, the first drive was good. The second drive, he had 3 drops. And the third drive, he had 2. And they were from players that really haven't been dropping it. That was the thing that hurt. We've had some issues. Game 1 against Georgia, I talked about it after that. Cole Turner, he had 3 big drops the whole game. We were having some problems, and I kind of saw it again, but with different people. Fucking Westco dropped one. Westco, he dropped one. That one, it would have been damn near a touchdown. Like it just
Dude, he,
hit
he
him in
had
the.
2 catches for 104 yards and a touchdown.
He had a
So,
great. It literally would have been. He would have had. It would have been like. It would probably been 3 catches for like 155. Like it was like a 50-yard catch, and it would have been.
uh,
It like had a strong chance to be a touchdown. Like he
okay.
probably would have been down at like the 1 or 2 yard line, but he had a chance to score a touchdown if you'd have called it.
Okay.
But you know, you don't like complain him so much. Jake Bredingstall, who did have a touchdown in this game, but he also had. I mean, he's been one of our most consistent targets. He's our tight end. He's the big body. Clemson's known for having athletic, big body tight ends. He's the next in the class of that, and he just had a couple drops that are very uncharacteristic of him as well.
Okay.
So it wasn't the cleanest game, but it's one of those things where we just keep churning. I mean, our defense can keep us in. Our offense can be not clean. Our defense will just keep us in the game.
Whenever you hold the opposing quarterback to 9 of 19 for 71 yards, a touchdown, and 3 interceptions, you're gonna take that.
Yeah, for sure, man. And they ran
Yeah.
for 236, but once again, going back to this sentiment, this ancient sentiment in the sport of football, bend don't break. We let them get into the red zone a couple times, and then guess what we did? We intercepted the fucking ball.
Yeah.
They'd run the ball all the way down the field, get to the red zone, and be like, all right, we got to throw one pass, right? You got to mix it up a little bit. Throw one pass, it's an interception. Boom, drive done. And we did that. We literally did that twice. Like, that's all you can ask for, man.
Again, dude, it's crazy how good Clemson has looked when they don't have to play Georgia.
Yeah, dude. Listen, that Georgia team, and they're coming next. Don't worry. All the people out there in the world that have been shaking, waiting for it, it's coming.
Yep.
I'm gonna come. But yeah, that Clemson's team is a very legit ACC program. The fact that we are starting off this season with one loss because playing Georgia early, and kind of obviously getting dominated in the second half of that, I think the disrespect for Clemson, like we were like 14, we lost to Georgia, and we dropped to 24. Like,
Yeah, but your offense didn't play that well.
I don't care. We lost to number 1. Why are we dropping 10 points? What is that, dude? That's such BS.
Well, the problem is that people still have the idea of, oh, this is like national championship caliber Clemson.
Even if I appreciate that sentiment because I understand it, but with that being said, it's a number 14 losing to number 1, and they drop 10 points. That's never how it works. Anyways, I just think about that. That hurts my soul because of that. It's just because of that. Like the only reason we're not a top 12 team is because they knocked us down to fucking number 24. We've had to pick up 7 spots just to get to 17 now. But it happens. It's college football. But yeah, man, there's really not much to talk about besides that. I mean, it was a very kind of dominating win for Clemson. A defensive game. Our offense, like I said, lots of drops. Led to some 3-and-outs in the middle of the game that were just, it's stuff you got to clean up. But
yeah,
the rushing attack with Maffa and Klubnik doing a lot of like the read option, designed quarterback run stuff, it's looking good. You're starting to see the Garrett Riley come in, the Garrett Gadget Riley. Some big like jet sweeps, quick ends, stuff like that with some wide receivers. I mean, you see, Antonio Williams and Visna, each one of them, they both had like big first down, jet sweep kind of style runs. So yeah, looking good.
Looking good when you don't have to play Clemson. Or looking good when you don't have to play Georgia.
It's everybody else, though. Everybody else looks good when they don't have to play Clemson.
I don't know, dude. Kentucky
All right.
and Alabama look pretty good. Oh,
It's time.
this was by far the game of the week.
This is probably one of the games of the year.
This might be the game of the year.
Definitely one of them,
Yeah.
probably until they play each other again at some point.
I mean, we got what we thought we were going to get at the end. We got a very close, like, tight-knit ball game. It's just how we got there was crazy.
It didn't feel right. Yeah, it felt weird. It felt unnatural almost.
It did feel unnatural. Dude,
Because-
Alabama, they go up 21-0 in the first quarter.
Yeah, dude. I mean, early you'd been like, everybody was like, what is happening?
Yes.
What is this a parallel universe? Did we all just wake up in a different land? Because, I mean, listen, it's not that Alabama's a bad team. Number 4 in the country. Always got to respect Bama. Obviously, they don't have Saban anymore, and that's like there's just this different like air to the team because of that. And we all understand, but like it's still Bama, dude. These are still some of the best, high school, if college guys out there. Jalen Milroe is one of the most explosive athletes at quarterback in the country for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And in Georgia, man, they found out quick, hard, and fast.
I mean, so one of the things that Alabama did is I think Georgia was really concerned with Alabama's like interior run game.
Yeah.
And Alabama didn't really even try. Like Kirby Smart said it, at his halftime interview. He said, yeah, they're doing a bunch of empty and they hadn't shown that on film. Like all of that was new. And what Alabama was doing was they were just hitting the edges early. They were getting to the outside, and Georgia, they were really struggling defensively to get off the field and to shut Alabama down. I mean, dude, Jalen Milroe, he had a great game, but he was like Super Saiyan type hot in the first half.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, it looked like he was on pace to throw for 400 and run for 200 against the number 1 team against the number 2 team in the country.
Yeah, one of the best defenses for sure.
Yes.
I mean, undeniably one of the best defenses in the land. I think something, and you were just talking about this, them hitting the edge, and not just hitting the edge with the quarterback. I think there was just something different about that early drive, that first drive for Alabama, using Jalen Milroe to be their designed outside runner, and it really just gave Georgia fits.
It did, dude. I mean,
a little bit of pushing.
Yeah, push off right there. I mean, Georgia, Arian Smith had a huge drop early that, would have been a huge play for Georgia and probably would have set the tone. But, I mean, that drop, just you can't drop that ball. Look, dude, I mean, they're hitting the edge with a lot of success.
Yeah. And you saw it all, like, they obviously, in the second half, Alabama's offense really stagnates until the very end. But in the first half, dude, they made up for it with everything they had.
I mean, dude, Jalen Milroe, he completed 82% of his passes against. Jalen Milroe, that was always, kind of his thing is, we know he's really athletic. We know he can run, but he's not a consistent passer. What Kalen DeBoer has done for Jalen Milroe, just giving him, the confidence to go out there and throw the ball.
Yeah.
And, teaching him how to be a better pocket passer. Like, I think that's huge. I mean, I think Kalen DeBoer, we're going to talk about this, Riley. Kalen DeBoer is one of the best coaches in the country. I mean, he's 6-0 against Steve Sarkisian, Dan Lanning, and Kirby Smart.
I mean,
those are 3 of the top 5 coaches in the country.
Yeah.
And he's 6-0 against them. That's insane. Like that's not flukish. This dude is a damn good football coach.
Yeah, that's consistency. 6-0 is consistent. You can't deny it. All right, real quick, we're gonna look at this play, just because this play, just to show some love to the Orca brother.
Yeah.
This is the early mistake here from Carson Beck.
I mean, that's the receiver, he doesn't, that's a, he's not on the same page with Carson Beck.
Yeah, for sure. No, there's definitely some kind of issue there, but
Yes.
This is one of the plays that all the anti Carson Beck people are gonna look to and give you.
I thought the Jahad Campbell interception was a lot worse.
Yeah, for sure.
He just threw
This
it
one
right
just
to the
right
linebacker.
here. That one just happened.
Yeah.
We were just talking about it. I saw that play and I was like, "Oh, there's the first one."
Yeah.
God, you gotta love a ball that's so obviously late, but everybody goes, ball.
Yeah.
Boom. Jet sweeps, get to the edge. Get to the edge and just walk in the end zone. Why don't you?
Yeah.
It's the jet motion is some of the best stuff in fucking football, I swear. Like, it's so effective.
Yeah.
Whether you're gonna run the jet sweep or you're just gonna use the jet motion to do something else, like, it really is. Like, it's such an effective thing with the athletes that are out there today.
Mm-hmm.
But man, Alabama, they really just that was that play was sick. God, it's actually cooler watching. I forgot about that, dude. That was way cooler watching it on replay.
I mean, look, dude. They attacked Georgia's edges, and it was awesome to watch. Like, dude, it was 30-7 going into halftime. And credit to Georgia, man. Like, they did not give up.
They did not, man. Listen, I think the second half of this game shows that Georgia is probably still, they are one of the best teams in the country, man. You cannot deny them.
No.
They almost, like no one else before came on the back. Like, truly, truly 28-3 caliber comeback. And I wish it would have happened. It would have been so funny. Like, honestly, it would have been so funny.
They did. Like, they had the lead for 13 seconds, and then Ryan Williams happened.
Yeah. Ryan Williams happened, and he happened quick.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's Trevor Etienne.
Yep.
Trevor, brother of Travis.
Mm-hmm.
Son of Travis. Jalen Milroe is just
look at how, dude, that is an elite.
That's a crazy
Georgia defense full of freak athletes.
Yeah.
And Jalen Milroe looks like Michael Vick running.
I mean, he cut a video game line on that.
Yeah, he did.
Boom.
Oh.
Honestly, though, at the end of the day, like, for as much as it is, dude, that fourth down right there that Georgia got, even though they just
That's the interception. Yeah.
Boom. Like, that could have been so much momentum for him.
Yeah.
And Carson Beck wasted it. He wasted it.
I mean, he threw it right to him, dude. Like, Carson Beck has not looked the same the last 2 weeks, because he really struggled against Kentucky, and then he didn't play well, for the first half in this game.
God damn.
I mean, that if Alabama scores there, like,
man, God, this game is just crazy. This game just was crazy, dude. Watching it again is just wild. This was really this is prime college football, dude. This is everything you could have wanted from it, dude. All the madness, all the chaos, the crazy plays, guys doing stuff that you don't expect to see on a field.
Yeah, and then dude, like, this was a safety because this was intentional grounding. Dude, just look at Alabama, dude. Like, they brought, like, dude, you could tell Alabama was planning for this, both offensively and defensively, because they brought a bunch of different pressures and looks that they had not shown on film up to this point. Like, they were ready for Georgia. They knew what the game plan was to beat this Georgia team, and they were not going to show any of it on film.
Nah, they really do. I bet the speeches, like the halftime speeches, are not like the pregame speech, and like practice leading into this game, like just the concept of them like being able to fully open the playbook. Ooh, see, this is a waste of a trick play. You gotta hate when it doesn't.
Yeah, that I wasn't a fan of that.
I mean, usually those plays do hit. You can't really hate it too bad because you got to try some shit at that at some point. But against a team like Georgia, though, it always does feel weird trying to hit a gadget play.
They've got too much speed to get,
too talented.
Yeah, you're probably not gonna hit that.
Yeah.
I mean, and this was just tempers flaring. I mean, this game looked over, dude. But credit to Georgia. You have to give credit to Georgia because they could have easily quit. But, Kirby Smart teams, that they don't quit. They're never out of a football game. And I think they showed that last night.
I think Carson Beck just got pissed off at one point. Like, at some point, he was, like, mad at himself, mad at his offensive line, mad at somebody. And he was just like, all right, God damn it, we're playing football. Tired of this shit. I'm tired of it, Grandpa. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. We're, 9 minutes left in the third quarter, and like over half of this video is left.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna go ahead. We're just gonna watch the last little bit of this game.
Yep, because this game was crazy.
So this is.
I mean, if you're Alabama, that's the absolute worst time to let someone loose in your secondary.
Yeah, dude. Busted coverage. Carson Beck's face and right arm don't belong on the same person. Like, if you just looked at that dude, like, just a right arm profile, you can't see his face, you're like, oh, he looks kind of cool. Look at that sleeve of tattoos. And then you see his face, and you're like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
You're insane. Yeah, dude, you can't let him run loose in your secondary.
I mean, look how much time he has.
I know.
My thing was, Alabama was so aggressive all night. And then, like, right here at the end, when it kind of mattered, they just stopped being aggressive. And I think it's kind of what started killing them.
Well, the other thing was offensively, they
also
kind of pulled a Kyle Shanahan. They were snapping the ball with like 15 or 17 seconds left on the play clock. Like, dog, run the clock down. At this point, you're just trying to kill as much clock as possible.
But then
Ryan Williams, dude, 17-year-old true freshman.
That kid was 17 and he made two dudes kiss each other. What were you doing when you were 17?
Oh my god, dude.
I mean, he really did. He made those two Georgia defenders kiss themselves. Hold on.
He had 6 catches for 177 yards and a touchdown against maybe the best defense in the country. As a 17-year-old.
Wait for it. He said, I want you guys to kiss. Wait for it. He's like, hey guys, I want you to kiss. Man.
I think that is one of the the more exciting storylines of this college football season. It's just all of the true freshman stud receivers that we have. Ryan Williams at Alabama, Jeremiah Smith at Ohio State, like
Wesco at Clemson.
Yeah, Brian Wesco at Clemson. Like, I mean,
there's some studs, dude. There's some studs in this class for sure. You are 1,000% correct about that. Man,
I mean, Jeremiah Smith at Ohio State, by the way, they played Michigan State. He had 2 back-to-back insane one-handed catches. Like, he's a freak. Ryan Williams is a freak, and he's only 17.
Kiss each other. God dang it, dude. That's so funny. Like, he is 17, and he made 2 dudes. Oh, my God. He said, I like making people headbutt.
Edge. And then it's even more impressive what he does after the catch. Like, I mean,
Spin
look at
move.
that, dude.
It's like he hit a spin, like he hit the spin button as he hit the jump button.
Yeah.
And it worked. I don't think that should work. That shouldn't work.
And then, I mean, that's not a good throw if you're Carson Beck.
Nah, man, listen, the quarterback just absolutely chokes at the end.
I mean, you see the corner has inside leverage on the receiver. So if you're going to throw it anywhere, you need to lead him and throw it over the shoulder to give him a chance. But you underthrow it? Like, that's a poor throw. I'm sorry.
You're right. He did it twice. Big Dog's right. He did it twice. Why'd he do it twice? It's hard to know why he did it twice. If you're Georgia, how you feel about QB1 right now? Kirby Smart. How do you think? What's the mindset? Is it just a game? They're just playing one of the best teams, or
I just think it's more Alabama, dude. I mean, the argument is, he didn't play well against Kentucky either. But I mean, Kentucky is proving to have a great defense as well. So.
But isn't that kind of a problem if QB1 doesn't play well? If you're Georgia, who is national championship focused, that, if they don't win the Natty, it's kind of a disappointing season, which is a terrible place to be in because that is such a high level of expectation. But if that's the team that you are, and they are, is it not a problem that QB1 can't handle good defenses? Because that's all you're going to get.
That's fair, dude. I mean, it's kind of similar to Dabo. Clemson fans are upset with Dabo because he's a victim of his own success. And you guys saw this with DJ Ukulele. DJ couldn't play well against good defenses.
Yeah, no, listen, dude. DJ tanks them all away.
True.
Taking down the ACC one program at a time.
It's true.
You should go play for Stanford.
Dude, by the way, shout out to Florida State for losing to SMU 42-16.
The Pony Express.
Oh, dude. The Pony Express, bro.
All right, just to finish it off, let's just finish up some games that we didn't look at, just to mention scores. Obviously, we have Texas whipping Mississippi State 35-13. Arch Manning looks a little better this week.
Yep, Arch Manning.
He's Arch Manning. No interceptions. Their rushing game, though, they ran for damn near 200.
They have a bye week, and Quentin Ewers is going to be back.
Yeah, he's coming back. That's also what's so exciting about this Texas team. Honestly, though, now that Georgia's done, is Texas the perennial number one?
I don't know, dude. I think there's a chance Alabama's ranked number one.
I mean, I get that, but I'm just talking about raw team because it's really kind of been a Texas-Georgia run. But now that Georgia shows a crack, and I don't know, man. I don't think Texas loses to Alabama, dude. I just don't think. I don't know who's going to be able to stop Texas' offense because with both quarterbacks, but with Quinn Ewers, they run the ball so well, and then they can just they will crack you open if you try to buy into that run defense. As soon as you buy into the run defense, they just crack you wide open with something. And it's it's incredibly potent. But, they have a great game this week. Arch Manning, 26-for-31. You really can't ask much more from a young guy like him.
Yeah. Threw 2 touchdowns. I mean,
like you said, Ohio State, 38-7 on Michigan State.
I mean, this game was kind of closer than you initially thought it would be, but then Ohio State just kind of rolled. I mean, Jeremiah Smith, he had a rushing touchdown. He also caught a touchdown. This dude is a stud. Jeremiah Smith is an absolute stud.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm just saying, dude, I called it. I called it at the beginning of the year. Jeremiah Smith is going to be one of the best receivers in the country as a freshman. I'm just saying.
You were right. You called it. This dude he is going for freshman of the year.
I mean, Riley, like, I don't know if you can, but, like, if we can, dude, like, go look up the Jeremiah Smith one-handed catches. Like, they are insane.
That looked like
I don't think.
this isn't gonna be it. That did look. Literally, the cover was him catching it one-handed. Though.
Yeah, no,
That's why I was like, "Come on." Let's go.
I found it on YouTube, but
Oh, wow, didn't spell that right.
yeah.
Yeah, I
So
did.
casual. I mean,
Pretty cash.
dude, that's gonna make any quarterback look amazing if you have a dude that can do that consistently. Like, and he did it back to
It
back.
wasn't
I
even
don't
the
know if
quarterback. Is that their backup?
Yeah, that's the backup.
Oh,
Will Howard got hurt.
okay.
He got hurt.
I was
And
like,
Devin Brown comes in and throws this.
dude, does Ryan Day have that weird shit that Bronco Mendenhall used to have with numbers?
What do
Why
you
the
mean?
hell is their backup quarterback number 33?
I don't.
Remember Bronco Mendenhall, one of his weird things is that their backup quarterback was always number 36. He had a weird thing with numbers. Anyways.
I don't know. I don't know, dude.
Yeah, no, that was worth it.
Oh, dude.
Definitely.
Shout out to the chat, man. I'm
Shout out to
excited.
chat.
We have people in the chat. You know,
We're
Big
chatting.
Dog, Orca Brother. Appreciate y'all. You know, we want everyone to come in here and talk to the TTT.
Hey,
We want that. We
All right.
welcome it.
Yeah, Michigan had a close one against Minnesota, but they end up pulling it out. Mullings has a great game. USC beats a Wisconsin team. They looked pretty good.
Yep.
Miller Moss looks pretty good. Yeah. LSU blows out South Alabama. Iowa State destroys Houston. I know it's kind of a low score, but they really did kind of dominate.
Yeah.
I mean, Kansas State beats Oklahoma State kind of impressively.
I was wrong about that game.
We were
Oklahoma
both wrong.
State, I thought you picked Kansas State.
No, I picked Oklahoma State. I went with Ollie Gordon and Oklahoma State, and I was wrong.
Yeah, dude. I mean, Oklahoma State, they don't look like a good football team right now. Alan Bowman got, he got benched last week, and he started again for them.
26 for 50.
Yeah, I mean, dude, why are you throwing the ball 50 times? I mean, Ollie Gordon, he just
literally one of the best running backs in the country. They're just not giving the ball to him.
I mean,
it's
they are. It's just like they haven't been able to block for him. I mean, it's honestly kind of crazy. Like, Ollie Gordon had 76 yards rushing.
Yeah.
On 15 carries. I mean,
as compared to K-State, who ran for 300.
Yeah.
As a team, DJ getting 15 for 187.
Yes, dude.
Murder 187, baby.
It's crazy.
Kansas State had a great game. Avery Johnson gets back on track with this one.
Again, dude, it's the Big 12. Everyone's basically equal talent-wise, and so it's just there's a shitload of parity, which is what makes it so much fun.
The big mid.
The big mid, dude. That's disrespectful, but okay.
All right.
I mean,
one last thing before we go. Let's look at the NFL slate. Let's just give a quick.
Let's do it, dude.
New Orleans at Atlanta. I'm gonna go with New Orleans, man. They've been kind of on a track. Last week, they have like a slower game, but they still look like a dangerous team. I'm gonna take them against Atlanta.
You know how I feel about the Falcons, dude. I don't trust the Falcons at all.
It is a 1 p.m. game though, so we got to be careful for Perko.
That's true. It is Kirk Cousins at 1 p.m. That's
one of the most dangerous football players to ever play football.
I don't know, dude. I think the Saints team is, I thought they were kind of underrated coming into the year, and I was never as high as people were on the Falcons, so I like the Saints to win this game.
Los Angeles Rams at Chicago.
I mean, this is just an absolute coaching mismatch, dude. It's Sean McVay against Matt Eberflus, Matt Stafford against Caleb Williams. I get it. The Rams are really banged up, like Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua. They're probably gonna be out. But dude, it's the Rams against the Bears, dude. I'm taking the Rams.
Got to take the Rams on this one as well.
Got to take the Rams.
Minnesota Vikings at Green Bay Packers. This one's in Lambeau. Can Lambeau Field save the Packers from the wrath of Minnesota?
This is like, I think this is going to be a sneaky good game.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, dude, the Vikings look really, really good with Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
And the Packers have, they've been playing well despite losing Jordan Love. They have their backup Malik Willison.
He's playing for Jesus.
No, dude. I mean,
listen.
I feel like
I'll make my cut.
I have to take the Packers just because they're the home team.
Yeah. I mean, my cut is Sam Darnold has looked good for Minnesota, but the thing about Minnesota is that defense has been playing out of the minds. One of the top sack teams in the league.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to show up against a young quarterback. I think that's going to show, and I think it's going to be the difference. I'm taking the Vikings.
Ooh, okay. I like that.
Pittsburgh Steelers at the Indianapolis Colts in Lucas Oil Stadium. I feel like it's got to be the Steelers. I mean, just quick
agree.
off the head, it's got to be the Steelers, right?
You know how I feel about AR-15.
AR-15 is
Justin Fields has been playing really well, which
dude.
is the Bears fans' absolute worst nightmare.
# where is Russell Wilson? At this point, I think they made him disappear.
True.
All right, next
Dude,
we got.
Is this not a toilet bowl if you've ever seen one?
This game is definitely high, no matter what. This is the Denver Broncos at the New York Jets. We call it a toilet bowl, but the Jets, besides an early hiccup, kind of gotten back on track. I got to take the Jets, man.
They struggled against the Titans. I mean, I don't know, dude.
What's that, man? That's 2-1. You can struggle,
Okay.
but if you win, you're winning. If you win, you're on track.
This is like my fucking hell right now, dude, because I'm not a fan of Bo Nix, and I'm not a fan of the Jets as an organization. I think they're a dumpster fire poverty franchise.
I also agree.
I think Sean Payton is a much better coach than Robert Saleh.
Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback than Bo Nix. I'm going Jets.
That's fair.
Ayahuasca allows you to see football in 4D. It's crazy. Who knew? Unexpected side effects. Philadelphia Eagles at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Obviously, last week, Tampa Bay has the shaky game that we've kind of, I don't know if been waiting for, but it's the game that you kind of expect out of the Buccaneers. As good as they can be, they always have to Buccaneer one.
Yeah.
The question is, do they bounce back against Philadelphia, or are they cooked?
I mean, I like the Bucs a lot, dude. The problem with the Bucs right now is they're just really injured. They've been injured all year. They've been kind of devastated by injuries in the secondary, on the defensive line, and on the offensive line. I really like Baker Mayfield, but I think the Eagles going to Tampa and get this win.
Damn. I was kind of expecting to go with the Buccaneers. I also think the Eagles are going to do it. Last week, we saw a revitalization of the defensive line of the Eagles. The war crimes.
The war crimes are back, dude.
They were being committed. And I got to go with the Eagles, man. Last week, they played the Saints, and I made a joke, or we talked about it in the pregame, that one of the only things, we thought the Saints were going to torch the Eagles secondary.
Yes.
And the only thing that stopped that is the front seven of the Eagles just absolutely annihilating the Saints. So I think we see a replay. This is a toilet bowl. Cincinnati Bengals at Carolina Panthers.
There is a really funny storyline in this game.
Yeah. It's
Andy
Andy
Dalton, the
Dalton,
Red Rifle, is now the quarterback of the Carolina Panthers.
the legendary Bengals red guy.
Dude, how funny would it be if Andy Dalton led the Bengals to another 0-4 start?
Dude, so funny I'm taking it. I'm going Carolina Panthers, dude.
Oh shit, dude.
I call it the new quarterback cheese. You get 3 weeks with a new quarterback to look pretty good before you balance back into whatever you were before. And they're in it. This is week 2, so I think the Carolina Panthers are going to look pretty good.
Just saying, dude, you picked the Vikings, and this is week 4 for Sam Darnold. So,
but he's not. It's not the same. It's not the same.
Kind of.
And Andy Dalton is a true replacement. Sam Darnold's QB1. There's a difference.
You know how I feel about Joe Burrow.
I
mean, dude, like if the Bengals can't win this game, they're probably
cooked.
They're cooked, but I'm taking the Bengals.
All right, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Houston Texans in NRG Stadium.
Are you gonna do it, Riley?
No, I'm not gonna do it, dude, because the Jacksonville Jaguars have just been very inconsistent. Very inconsistent.
Team.
And
not a good
the Texans
team.
are playing well, and in NRG, they do pretty well typically at home. I think I got to go with the Texans.
Yeah, I agree, dude. I think C.J. Stroud has a bounce back game against this horrific Jaguars defense, and yeah, just Sunshine can't do everything, man. It's not a very good team around him. So,
all right, we got the Commanders at the Cardinals. Listen, man, I think it's another week of consistent football from us. I've got to go with the Commanders. I almost said the Cardinals. We don't have Eckler, but
no,
I don't think that's going to hurt us overall as bad as it could. I think we'll be able to balance out not having him. And I think the rushing attack continues. The consistency, I hope, continues. I hope it's touchdowns once again this week. I got to go with the Commanders.
Do you trust your defense to be able to stop Kyler Murray, Trey McBride, and Marvin Harris?
Yes, that team is good. When they click, they're very good. But I don't know, man. They've got to click.
Yeah, I mean that's true. I like the Cardinals at home. I'm not ready to anoint the Commanders just yet. Like I still have to see more. So,
we have the Patriots at the 49ers.
Yeah,
the 49ers need a bounce back. I mean, you know, they're middling a line right now that they need a win, man. They need a win consistently before C-Mac comes back, so they're not like in kind of a bad spot when he actually arrives.
This seems like a great game to do it.
Yeah, man, it does. The Patriots when they put it together, they can be a good squad. There's no doubt about that. But right now, they are struggling consistently. And I got to take the 49ers, man. I think the run game is going to show back up. I think Jordan Mason probably going to have a big game today.
I like the 49ers, dude. Give me the 49ers.
Cleveland Browns at the Vegas Raiders in Allegiant. I'm gonna take Vegas, man.
Yeah.
In Allegiant, they tend to be all right. Home is good for them.
Dude, Groper Cleveland has not looked good at all, and the Browns are a talented team, but you know, if your quarterback's not playing well, it's probably not going to go well. So I like the Raiders, dude. I think the Raiders are underrated in terms of talent.
Yeah, for sure, man.
And I think Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins are going to get after, good old Groper Cleveland. So
yeah. Christian Wilkins going after his former teammate.
It's true.
He knows him well. Kansas City at Los Angeles Chargers in SoFi. I got to go Kansas City in this one. I think the run game for the Chargers is pretty effective, but I think Kansas City just got to keep going.
The Chargers, they Rashawn Slater is hurt. Joe Walt is hurt. Dude, both their tackles are hurt.
Yeah.
So I mean, and they, obviously, I was a huge fan of Joe Walt. I love what the Chargers have done, just beefing up their bubs. But I mean, dude, it's the Chiefs, man. I gotta go with the Chiefs.
They're just finding ways to win, man. It's hard to go against them right now.
Yeah.
All right, then we have Buffalo.
This is gonna be a banger.
Yeah, this is the Sunday night game. We have Buffalo at Baltimore. I'm gonna go Baltimore, man, mainly because I don't want Buffalo to win. That's it. There's no fancy analysis. I don't have a reason. I just don't want Buffalo to win.
I think we were both kind of wrong about the Bills this year, dude. Like I thought they were going to take a major step back. But
I don't think there's enough time to say we were wrong, to be honest with you, because the Bills and the Cowboys had the same traditional problem. They start strong and finish eh.
Yeah.
See, you even made the noise too.
Dude, it's the Ravens at home. That's always a tough place to play.
At night, Baltimore at night. You've never been to Baltimore at night. You should be scared.
I have been to Baltimore at night, dude. Went to a Rihanna concert there.
Oh, yikes.
During the fucking Baltimore riots, dude. That was a lot of fun.
That was a real brick in the window. Anyways,
it was, dude. Fucking, I like the Ravens at home. I think it's going to be a really close game, but I like the Ravens at home.
All right. Tennessee at Miami for Monday night. This is a weird game. Really weird game. Especially with no Tua. But, I mean, the playmakers, dude, they just exist. They're too heavy on Miami. I think Miami's probably going to pull this out, and it's going to be a weird win. It's going to be real gadgety. Mike McDaniels is going to have to scheme up some unique ways to get the balls in the hands of Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. But I think he can figure it out. I mean, he's kind of that kind of creative coach. This is a unique test for him, and Will Levis likes mayo in his coffee. So
he does. he also likes to fucking turn the ball over in the absolute worst ways possible every week.
Usually while diving before he throws.
It's true, dude. I like the Dolphins in this one, dude. I echo everything you just said. I mean, I don't think the Titans are a very good football team right now.
All right. And the last of Monday, we have the Seattle Seahawks at the Detroit Lions.
This is going to be a banger. Dude.
This is going to be a banger of a game. I'm going to go with the Lions, dude. Once again, we're riding a Lions train here on the TTT. It's what we do. It's how we function. We're high-functioning Lions fans.
Dude, we are. CCC is big fans of all of the Lions bubs. I mean, the Lions, they kind of had, a nice get-back game, get-right game against the Cardinals last week. I like the Lions, man. Although I do think the Seahawks are a very underrated football team.
Absolutely.
Especially because that is one of the toughest divisions in football in the NFC West. But, dude, I like the Lions at all. I like the Lions.
All right, man. All right. Yeah. That's it. We've done it. We've not an NFL pre-showed you all the way until 6 minutes before kickoff.
It's awesome.
You're welcome.
Yes.
We are so glad to be here. Please keep liking, commenting, subscribing. Go check out our regular videos. Keep coming back for the live streams. We love it. We're going to keep doing it. We'll see you later tonight. But for this one, we got to clean up and get out of here, y'all. Peace.